Based on the search results you provided, there is evidence of several Ohio government-related actions and public proceedings on May 19, 2026, but the results are not a complete official statewide log. So the report below is an in-depth summary of what can be supported from those sources, plus clear notes where the available evidence is limited. On May 19, 2026, one of the main visible state government activities was a meeting of the Ohio House General Government Committee. The official Ohio House Committee page shows a meeting scheduled for May 19, 2026 at 4:15 p.m. The meeting notice indicates that meeting documents would become available on the day of the meeting, and that testimony could be submitted up to 24 hours before the scheduled start. This is a normal legislative committee process signal, but it confirms that the committee was active on that date and was accepting public testimony. The committee page itself does not list the full agenda in the snippet you provided, so the precise bills or resolutions considered there are not fully recoverable from this result alone. The Ohio House Committee system is part of the legislative branch, so this counts as a legislative activity rather than an executive enforcement action. A second important legislative event on May 19, 2026, is documented by the Ohio Channel page for the Ohio House Government Oversight Committee. That page indicates the committee held a hearing on May 19, 2026, and one of the items listed was HB number 223, sponsored by Representatives Matthews and Willis. The bill is described as prohibiting government purchase of foreign-made U.S. flags. The hearing stage shown is fifth hearing, which suggests the bill had already received multiple prior hearings and was progressing through the committee process. The page also references POS, AM, prop/op/IP, which implies possible amendment, proponent/opposed testimony, and interested party testimony in that committee context. In practical terms, this indicates active consideration of procurement policy and patriotic symbol sourcing rules by the House Committee on that date. The legislative picture on May 19 also includes broader committee operations in the Ohio House, though the search results do not show all individual hearings. The fact that the General Government Committee and Government Oversight Committee were both meeting on the same day indicates a busy committee schedule in the Ohio House. Since committees are where most substantive bill work occurs, these May 19 proceedings likely involved testimony, amendments, and procedural advancement of legislation. However, without the full agendas or minutes, it would be speculative to identify every bill or amendment discussed. On the executive and regulatory side, the search results do not show a specific Ohio state enforcement action dated May 19, 2026. No Attorney General press release, court filing, investigative announcement, or agency enforcement bulletin is included among the results. That means I cannot reliably report a concrete enforcement action from the state of Ohio on that day based only on the materials you supplied. If you want a truly complete enforcement section, the best source would be Ohio Attorney General releases, state agency enforcement notices, or administrative hearing dockets for that exact date. There is, however, a relevant executive branch adjacent development in the Attorney General's petition review records, though it is dated March 16, 2026 rather than May 19. The Ohio Attorney General's list of petitions submitted to the office includes a constitutional amendment proposal titled Prohibition of Construction of a Data Center, certified on March 16, 2026. This is not a May 19 action, so it should not be treated as a same-day event, but it is relevant background because it shows Ohio's ballot and constitutional amendment machinery was actively processing citizen initiatives in 2026. Since your prompt asks for actions on 5-19-2026, this item is best understood as contextual rather than part of the day's events. The search results also point to the broader 2026 Ohio gubernatorial election cycle. The Wikipedia result says the 2026 Ohio gubernatorial election is scheduled for November 3, 2026, and that the primary elections were held on May 5, 2026, with primary outcomes for the major parties. This is not a May 19 action, but it places the May 19 legislative and government activity in the middle of a consequential election year. Again, it is background rather than a direct May 19 government action. A public-facing event or broadcast on May 19, 2026 is also reflected in the Ohio Channel and YouTube links. The Ohio Channel entry shows the House Government Oversight Committee session from that date, which counts as a public legislative event because committee hearings are public proceedings and often include live or archived video. The YouTube short result dated May 19, 2026 does not provide meaningful content, and the video unavailable notice means it cannot be used as evidence of a substantive event. So the Ohio Channel Committee hearing is the stronger public event source. Putting the day together, the clearest supported Ohio government actions for May 19, 2026 were legislative committee hearings in the Ohio House. The General Government Committee met at 4:15 p.m. and accepted testimony in advance, while the Government Oversight Committee held a fifth hearing on HB No. 223 concerning the prohibition on government purchase of foreign-made U.S. flags. These are significant because they show active bill processing in the state legislature, especially on procurement, oversight, and general government topics. The available evidence does not support a specific statewide enforcement action on that date, nor does it provide a full all-agency roster of executive orders, administrative rulings, or court actions for Ohio on May 19, 2026. If you want, I can next turn this into a more formal day-by-day government brief and separate it into legislative, executive, judicial, and public event categories, or I can try to reconstruct a fuller May 19, 2026 Ohio government timeline from more sources.